So the NBA regular season is done, and we are into the play-in, then the playoffs. But we know some of the playoff matchups already, so let's start with some series previews. Starting today with the Knicks versus the Hawks, the 4-5 matchup in the East. Two teams that finished the season 41-31, both very good records, both outperforming expectations this season. Certainly the Knicks. Interestingly enough, the Knicks are 3-0 versus the Hawks this season, which bodes well for them, I would think. The Knicks are 23rd in offense and 3rd in defense and play at the slowest pace in the league. So a team that really got their record through their defense and their intensity and effort. Obviously, Coach Tom Thibodeau playing a big part in that. Whereas the Hawks are a team that has strived on offense all season and have just picked up their defense more recently. They started the season pretty roughly, then made a coaching change to Nate McMillan and got healthy and have been playing much better since. They're 8th in offense and 21st in defense and 23rd in pace. So sort of an offense versus defense matchup in this series, and it should be pretty interesting. Let's start with the Hawks offense towards the Knicks defense, and on the main part of the Hawks offense, which is Trae Young. He's their most important player, certainly offensively, and he controls a lot of it. Sometimes it's Bogdanovic. He certainly provides relief when Trae Young goes to the bench, but it's going to be a lot of Trae Young for the Hawks, his first playoff series, and I think their favorite action is a Trae Young pick and roll or a Trae Young double screen pick and roll. And me wondering how the Knicks will defend that. I would assume they would drop their center, whether it's Nerlens Noel or Taj Gibson, into the paint, and then have whoever guards Trae Young. It could be Alfred Payton, it could be RJ Barrett, whoever is guarding Trae Young for the Knicks, try and get over those two screens and maybe bait them into a deeper floater or a mid-range shot. And, those could be really effective on some nights, and some nights you feel like the Hawks are a bit settling for those, and shot making is going to be very key. If we think of them maybe trapping, certainly if they play Nerlens, who is a bit more athletic than Taj Gibson, or if they're, there's already a switch and they have more athletic players, whether it's Reggie Bullock or like someone who can get up, or Julius Randle, someone who can really get up there and help trap Trae Young and then force the ball out of his hands. And Trae Young is a very good playmaker and passer, but he is only like 6'1" or something, so he's gonna have trouble seeing over that. And then the Knicks can obviously rotate very well. Their defensive rotations are always on point and get back to shooters, whether it be DeAndre Hunter, who's now back healthy, or John Collins, Kevin Hurt or Bogdanovic, whoever the shooter is for the Hawks, who would be in that far corner. I think the Knicks can rotate and prevent that pretty well. They could also run the Hawks off the 3-point line, try and limit their effectiveness from there. I think they should be able to do that pretty well. And if they do give up threes, they're of the contested kinds. And, these are NBA players. They're going to make some of those, but I think the Knicks will probably be able to live with those percentages. And I think they'll be able to protect the paint. I think John Collins can be a key player for the Hawks just because of his athletic ability. Whether he's able to make plays out of the short roll if the Knicks trap Trae Young or go for alley-oops, I think he could be really important as a pick and roll partner for Trae Young. And then Clint Capella getting offensive rebounds. The Knicks are really good at getting those defensive rebounds and closing out the possession. They rebound as a team and are going to give 100% effort. So I think this will be a battle for sure, especially with the Knicks involved, and the battle on the boards is going to be important too. So I think the Hawks will be able to score just because they have so many offensive weapons. But I think the Knicks should be able to. I think they're going to make the Hawks take and make tough shots, and sometimes they're going to go in, sometimes they're not. So I don't think the Hawks are going to score at ease, but I don't think we'll see an 80-point game from the Hawks. So I think the Knicks will play pretty good defense, but the Hawks will also be able to score in some games. If we talk about the Knicks offense versus the Hawks defense, the first thing I think of is that Julius Randle seems like a matchup nightmare for the Hawks, unless they put DeAndre Hunter on him. But that seems like a big ask, given I feel Randle's quite a bit bigger, and also Hunter's just coming back from an injury. But they might not have any other choice. Whether, like Capella, I don't feel is fast enough and would have trouble guarding Randle's 3 and mid-range, which is much, much improved. And then John Collins, he's an okay defender, but certainly not someone you want guarding Julius Randle. I think the Knicks can have good success just giving to Randle around the elbow, in the post, on the perimeter. I feel Randle can have a lot of success in this series against this Hawks defense. Obviously they're going to have Capella in there protecting the paint, and he's going to do a good job of protecting the paint and grabbing rebounds as he has all season. But I feel that Randle has a really reliable mid-range and 3 now, and that he's really going to hurt the Hawks with step backs and just open threes, and then also sometimes getting in the paint, getting into the free throw line. And then also when Derrick Rose comes in for the Knicks, and Emmanuel Quickley as guards who can create, the Hawks don't have great guard defenders between Trae Young or Lou Williams. They just don't really have that. And then all their other defenders are, 6'7", 6'8", whether it be Kevin Huerter or DeAndre Hunter. And then another guy who could, match up with Randle at the power forward position is Danilo Gallinari, who I haven't talked about too much. And he's not a great defender either. So could be rough for the Hawks. They could throw out Solomon Hill, DeAndre Hunter, and just try and go all defense around Trae Young, but then you're giving up quite a bit offensively. And if you let the Knicks have people they can ignore, they're just going to, get it out of Trae Young's hands. And now you're forcing Solomon Hill to make a play off the dribble, and I don't know how much you want that. As for the other part of the Knicks offense, I said Derrick Rose, Emmanuel Quickley can have some success. Especially if Capella's playing drop coverage, they can get into the mid-range, Quickly can get into his floater game. And then also the Knicks 3-point shooting, it hasn't been great, but I think, RJ Barrett's 3 can hold up, and whether it be Alec Burks or Reggie Bullock, I think they'll have enough 3-point shooting, and they can get enough shooters out there where they're not giving up too much on defense with guys who can hit the 3 but also guard. And I think that's going to be really important for the Knicks, because you don't really want the Hawks mismatch hunting. Like, if it's Trae Young, are they going to try and get Derrick Rose on him, try and get Quickly on him, see what they can do? I would assume so. But then, I don't know, a lot of times when you mismatch hunt in the NBA, it's, to try and get someone smaller on you so you can post up. But Trae Young can't really do that, but he can certainly hurt them with their 3. But if a less capable Knicks defender gets switched onto Trae Young, I would assume that they would just take away the 3, and then if he blows by you, hope the help comes, and hope the Knicks rotations are on point, which they have been this season. But back to the Knicks offense. A lot of Julius Randle, just ISOs and stuff like that. And I think they can have success doing that. The Knicks haven't been a great offensive team this season, but they've been good enough. And I think they're going to turn this into a really slow game, play their game, play at their own pace. You'll see a lot of Randle step backs with 4 left on the shot clock, 3 left on the shot clock. And then if they can just try and get some easy baskets, whether it be off of Hawks missed rotations, getting it to the corners where RJ Barrett's a great shooter, or cutting and getting to the rack, and just try and get as many high percentage looks as possible to get some points on the board. I think they should be able to do that. So overall, I think this is going to be a really tight series. 2 good teams who I feel the winner will probably get eliminated by the Sixers in the next round, but 2 good teams who compete, and Hawks offense versus Knicks defense. If I had to give a prediction, I think it's going to be really close and could go either way, but I'm going to go with the Knicks in 7. I feel like their defense is going to hold up, and that Randle is going to have a really good series, but I could be wrong. Maybe the Hawks offense is just too much. and they figured out Trae Young is dicing up the Knicks defense, and Randall isn't having a great shooting series. This could really go either way, but I'm going to go with Knicks in 7. They also have the home court advantage, and the home fans, I know it's not too many, but they're going to be excited for Knicks basketball. So I'm predicting Knicks in 7. Could go either way, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be a good series. But anyways, thanks for watching this video, guys. Leave a like, subscribe to this channel for more NBA content, and I'll see you guys next time.